All right, guys. I didn't expect to go live again for like the third time this weekend, but Bitcoin is looking very pretty right now with a breakout of this downward trend that started roughly in March of this year. So we're looking at a 4-month trend roughly that we're looking to break out of, a little over 4 months. And so this is pretty monumental. I said earlier that the Trump pump was in fact coming. Again, just look at the way this dials above this volume right here. It is so slick. Anyway, if anybody's here, let me know. Post something. C-List is here. I knew it. I knew somebody would be coming, and it would definitely be C-List near the top. Kumar, hey, what's up, man? So yeah, guys, I'm getting a little excited heading into Monday. Just looking at the price action we're seeing today on Bitcoin, and it's not even just Bitcoin. Solana looks very, very strong. I'm actually going to pull that up too. I'm going to get a few different charts up, and maybe we'll look at some extra stuff. Also, I might start dialing into TLT bonds starting next week, slowly but surely. Anyway, maybe we can talk about some of that too. But let me just look at Solana here, guys. Look at Solana. Hey, what's up, Body Jake? Prabhat, Rambler, thank you for joining and becoming a new member. I think you've been here before, but if you have, either way, thank you. Concord, what's up? Jax, hey, what's up, buddy? Love seeing you 2 times in a day. Thanks, man. Yeah, Kenny, what's up, dude? No, look at this. Look at Solana, too. Look at Solana. This is sick. So Solana, this cycle. There we go. We're coming back. Oh, I hope that doesn't happen too much. I'm still waiting to get to my old provider for internet, so I might have a little bit of choppiness, but it takes a second and then it comes back. If you guys could just say something when you're there. Sorry about that. But it should be getting replaced. Hopefully this next week I'll be back to my old provider and then these internet hiccups will be gone. But yeah, what I was saying is Solana so far since December of 2022. So far during this cycle, Solana's up almost 2,300%. And look at this. Look at this pattern right here. We are so getting ready to break higher and try and break through the 230 range. It's right over here. It's actually the highest we've ever been is $259, and that was back in November of 2021. So we're going to start testing between 230 and that 265-ish, 260 range on Solana real quick. It's going to be a thing of beauty. Kumar says, Jesse, can you do a video on Bitcoin's investment for beginners who are not in yet? I want to get into Sol and BTC and altcoins. If you're going to do it, I would do it quick. So the cycles usually last about 4 years. That's based off the Bitcoin halving cycle, where the new amount of supply every year gets cut in half, which means the inflation rate really just plummets a ton. And so it's a driver of value in it. But yeah, we're pretty far into that cycle right now. Like I said, Solana was at its lows in December of 2022. So really, Solana's been rocking for a year and a half already. And we've got roughly another year, probably 9 to 15 months of bull market. So if you're getting in, I would get in soon. And then you don't have to worry so much about like when you buy and sell. If you're in an IRA in the States, I don't know where you live, man, let me know. But if you're in the States and it's not an IRA, then you want to hold stuff for a year. That way you don't pay short-term capital gains. You only pay long. I highly advise that because paying taxes to the man sucks. So everybody should do it, but you shouldn't try and give away the bank. You want to stay out of jail. Or I should say just have to deal with tax implications. Jax, is Sol still a buy at this level or wait for another pullback? I don't think there's another pullback, man. I think this is like it. We're launching. So personally, I would not be waiting at this level. I would have been buying here. I think I was even talking about buying here down in the 120s. I don't know that I personally did, though, because I bought my stack probably like somewhere over here. So I've been set for locked and loaded for a little bit. I was late to Solana. My friend James from Invest Answers was really early on this one, and he had really just excellent analysis. Texas, okay, cool. Yeah, so we got the same kind of tech. So yeah, again, I prefer long-term capital gains. I like to own stuff for at least a year. So I'll start selling some of my altcoins and some of these other things next year as early as maybe like January, February with some of them, maybe a small allotment, 20% or something. And then I'll be selling more as we go higher. But yeah, look at this. We're at 193 right now in Solana. It's up 4.5%. Let's look real quickly at today on Crypto Bubble. So this is the top 100 altcoins. And as you can see, they're not doing bad for a day. And if we look at the last month, you can still see some pretty big winners here. Solana's still up 35% over the last month. The last year, just really sick returns. Look at Bonk, 8,200%, just stupid. Wish I would have owned more of that back in the day. It's the shit coins that run first for some reason. I don't know why. And even comparatively to Bitcoin. So this is kind of the thing I talk about. So if you look here, you're still seeing in the top 100 that a lot of these have underperformed Bitcoin this year or over the last year, right? So that's kind of a big deal. Let me see here. Is this so by period, I think they mean rolling calendar year on this chart. But still, this gives you an idea. The majority of the time with altcoins, especially if they're from a previous cycle, you're just not going to do as well with them. A lot of these have really sucked compared to Bitcoin. But the stupid meme coins like Floki and Bonk and Pepe and all that kind of shit, it has outperformed when we're comparing it to BTC itself instead of the dollar. Render has, Solana has, Helium has, Stacks. There's a few here that have kind of outperformed, Ordi. So there's a few that have outperformed, but again, it's like a lot of these have really suffered. And like ADA used to be such a big thing when I started in 2017, and XRP used to be such a big thing. And when you look at these charts, cycle over cycle, you lose money on these. So you can make money with altcoins. Don't fall in love with them. Be ready to sell them when the appropriate time is right. And definitely don't hold them through a bear market because they'll be utterly devastated. That's my advice with that. Real quickly, though, let's go back. I want to see. So let's go back to Bitcoin, see how we're doing. So we're at 69.6. Again, we're getting higher. We've got real close to crossing over 70K. When this alarm goes off, we should be over 70,000. And looking back at Solana, it's getting so 4.2% up on the day. It's just a thing of beauty. I'm really excited, guys. Let me get it caught up with chat here, and then I'm probably going to roll through some topics related to Bitcoin and crypto. So let's just see here. Kamar, I'll look into BTC and Solana this week. We'll start slow. Maybe need to find another gem like Solana. Yeah, that's hard to do. It's hard to do, man, because again, it's just one of those things where, especially when you're later into the game and you're about halfway through this cycle, it's hard to find those gems, and it's even harder to sell them at the appropriate time. Justin, Jesse, will you start slowly buying into Biddy, the inverse BTC? No, not for a while. I'll wait until I think we're at the ass end of it. I probably won't touch any of that of Biddy for like 6 months, and then maybe I'll start adding to it, but not right away. I wouldn't want to inverse here. You want to give the cycle plenty of time to play out. Cody, send it. Yes, we are, I think, getting ready to send it. Again, the Trump pump is real. It just doesn't have to happen like the minute after he's done speaking. And you just have to realize how monumental this Bitcoin conference was. We had Robert F. Kennedy, who is very obviously like next level on like Bitcoin and what it's capable of. He's at a Michael Saylor-ish level, probably a hair underneath on the tier, right? But he's definitely way ahead of Trump right now. But Trump is learning, and Trump, you got to remember, Trump hated Bitcoin 3.5 years ago because he thought it was a threat to the dollar. Now he's saying, no, I get it. The real threat to the dollar isn't Bitcoin. It's the money printer. It's the government. And Bitcoin's the lifeline to help with that. And sure, he said crypto along with Bitcoin. But I mean, man, that's just fucking, when people start off, they can't differentiate well between the two. It doesn't mean he's not going to be supportive of it. And his son, Donald Trump Jr., I was listening to him. He was very much advocating for Bitcoin and had a very solid understanding of what it is, a lot better than his father. So he's probably a big driving force behind it. I'm sure Vivek is. He was at this conference too. There's a number of people that are cluing Trump in on exactly how big this industry can be. And again, he's got a huge ego, guys. So he wants to look good. It can be a curse, but it can also be a gift when you have this drive that tries to make it to where you look good in front of other people and people love you, right? he's got a thirst for that. He probably gained some of it when he was doing his Apprentice TV show, or maybe he's had it his whole life. He's had a silver spoon in his mouth, that's for sure. But again, it's one of those things where that can be a positive. That can be a good thing when it comes to being a president, because if you're trying to make people happy, that's like one of the biggest motivating factors, right? To be good at your job and have people like you when you're done with it. And his legacy didn't end well, right? But then ironically, Biden comes in and then his legacy ends up worse. And now Trump has an opportunity for redemption after almost getting his head blown off. So I think he's going to use that for his legacy. And I think that benefits all of America. So I'm pretty excited about what's happening. And again, the list of things that he's talking about doing are not inconsequential whatsoever. So yeah, let me see. Is the 70K price breaks moving at? Yeah, so 70K is beautiful. If we get above 70K, it's game on, because then our next step is to test other recent highs, which is at 72, and then after that, it's off to the 73.7 range. And once we break that, it's kind of game over. We could just go. And I mean, like, when I say go, we could literally just start launching. There's nothing to prevent that from happening. I got to adjust my lines here because we're going up already, right? But yeah, there's nothing. Just the way the oscillators are, and we could look at some of that too. The way the oscillators. Actually, I want to look at some other people's charts real quick. The way the oscillators are, like, this thing's just ready to pump, and I could see a 31%, 32% move to the .618, or at least a 30% move very quickly. Like I've said this for a while, but like the next month, maybe two, I could see us easily make it up to the 92,000 range, 88 to 92. And I'll be selling a little bit there. I'll probably sell, I don't know, maybe a 5% allocation, just to get my teeth wet, maybe get up to 10. It just all depends on how overextended some things might be. All right, let's look though. Let's go back to the Bitcoin stuff. Let's look here. Justin, psychological level, yes. Silas said, only harder thing than next is Tesla. No next Tesla. I'm not quite sure what you were saying there. Jax, RFK, and Vivek are going to be on Trump's cabinet to advise. Exactly, right? Like he's going to have people that are brilliant in his cabinet advising. And Michael Saylor is going to be there. Kathy Wood's going to be there. What the fuck? Go to sleep, Jesse. No. But thank you for the $2. But yeah, it's gonna be a great group. Toshi, to you, sir. And yes, rocket launch. I think we're seeing it. Concord, Sol also hitting new all-time high in crypto market dominance. Yeah, I believe it, man. I totally believe that. And this is just great. I've been saying for a while that we're going to see, and actually we should pull this up real quick. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance. I think tonight it's finally probably weakening. Let me see here. Oh, I hate this. All my charts got effed up, so I got to reset them. Yeah, so it's trying to do a breakout. So this is where I think we end up breaking down. And tonight we're getting a little bit of weakness in it. So I could be wrong. Benjamin Cohen thinks we're straight breaking out here. I don't think that's true. And honestly, what I need to do, since there's kind of like, when you draw these, you have to be loose on it. So this is kind of like, again, what resistance was, because we found some of it here. And if you dial out to the weekly and daily, you can kind of see that was resistance. But really, we're getting to a point where we need to make sure it's actual clear resistance that we're breaking through. So what I'll probably do is actually have to dial this line out a little bit towards that wick, because I want to make sure that we're actually breaking out. And then I'll probably set an alert on this by hitting this little clock. And then I'm just going to do once per bar because I want it to keep notifying me. So if we can break above, and I'll bring this down too. If we can break above this level and keep going up, then shit, maybe Benjamin Cohen's right. Maybe Bitcoin dominance gets up into the 63 to 65% range. I don't think so, but I don't know. We'll see. I think gambler's mentality is going to start to kick in soon. And that is going to be, let's figure out what to jump into next. All right, let me see here. So Johnny Salgado says, nobody will cry about miners tomorrow. No, probably not. Jax agreed 100. Thank you, Jax. C-List, Kamar said to find another gym like Solana, hard to find. BT, the next Tesla is just Tesla. Yeah, I agree. And Solana is probably pretty. Yeah, no, that's a good point, man. So the next Tesla is definitely Tesla. The next Bitcoin is Bitcoin. The next shitcoin, I mean, it could be any number of them. Problem is, there's so many. There's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of these things nowadays. It's really hard to keep up. Let's see what coin market cap. Are we back? Are we back? I think we are. Okay. All right, let me get over here. Yeah, so I'm going to go to coin market cap real quick. If I can find it now. I was just there. Right over. No, that's Coinbase. I don't know where it went. Right here. Let me get this one. Yeah, sorry, guys. Oh, hey, WRF. Thank you for the gifted memberships. Guys, click on those if you want them. So it says on coin market cap that we have... Are you fucking shitting me? There are 2.4 million cryptos now. Yeah, so again, altcoins, there's a lot of them. 2.4 million. Is that real? I suppose it probably is. Holy shit. I don't know if you guys can see that up there, but it literally says there are 2.4 million plus cryptos. So again, it's a needle in a haystack kind of thing on what's going to pump. I actually thought Solana would end up failing. I wasn't impressed with it, but I was wrong. I was looking at it through the wrong lens, and James got me to understand that. But again, and we're going to get Bitcoin might be the first to launch here, and then once it's usually what happens in these cycles, especially on big pumps, Bitcoin will get up, it will stabilize, it will find its place and its footing, and then it'll kind of take a breather before it makes its next leg. And while it's doing that, you'll see altcoins just fucking launch. And so that's where I think the Bitcoin dominance, I think maybe we hit this, get up here, and like the 57%, maybe it's even 58%, get near this resistance up here, and then we could break down, or maybe we just hit this and roll over. And that's not going to be a bad thing. That just means that altcoins that have smaller market caps are pumping because people are getting really excited and trying to look, and they're basically just trying to search for yield. They want a bigger return than they can get from Bitcoin. And that's when, hey, oh, by the way, I got my Bitcoin mug. Hello. Courtesy of my buddy John. Thank you, John. But yeah, that's when the big money starts really flowing in. Altcoin season is so much fun. And miners will participate in that too, I have no doubt. All right, just got to drink some of that water. Kumar, sorry to talk about Tesla here, but I just want to say that lately, since last 2 weeks, I've been emotionally getting affected by the price action, and more because of bears talking shit on news. Oh yeah, totally, dude. I get it, man. It's very easy to be flooded with negativity, and even like, and then it's worse when some of the people that you follow that had high, or that you thought had high conviction and that were going to keep you positive throughout, just fold. And that happens too, and I can't really shit on those people because I get it. I get it. Investing can be emotionally painful if you have not done it enough, and you're not able to disattach emotion from it. And nobody can do that completely, but when you get an element of control over it, it feels good. And hopefully you'll learn that over time. And you should be hopeful. It's going to do fucking great. It really is. C-List, you can make crypto on Sol cheaply in a few hours. Most just fade away. Jax, BTC floats all boats. It will. Rambler, so altcoins always hitch for the ride with BTC? Yes, not all of them. But there's some that will, like, I think the shit coins will probably, or I should say the meme coins will probably pump the most here. If we go back over the last hour, let's go to the last hour here and see what's pumping. Actually, it's not meme coins. Interesting. It's not actually meme coins. So are we getting a Bitcoin pump right now? Let me go back. Or maybe we're dropping a little bit. We're just retracing a little bit. That's okay. It's finding resistance. But yeah, they will take a ride on the train. It's just one of those things where, like, let's say we get a really good pump and get up to 80 or get up to 90 by some miracle and start finding resistance at that level. The chop, like what we had here, this wasn't the same right now. Like, altcoins got really grinded down because people are like, are we actually going to do anything? But with the setup we have now, and I'll just look at it over here. With this setup that we have now, where we're looking at 50 moving averages crossing over into golden cross, like this kind of stuff that we're seeing here is a thing of beauty. And I think this is just a total market cap. But as you can see, if you look here at the times where we've had launch. This was crossing under, so this doesn't count, but this was crossing over, and look what came. This was crossing over the gold, and look what came. And then we got neutered here. We probably would have been up here except for the Fed raising rates at the most aggressive rate in history. Now we're getting ready to do this again, right? So, and this is just one of so many different indicators that scream that we're going higher. Let's look here real quick at what Mike Alfred said. So Mike Alfred, he said the betting markets show Trump has a 65% chance of winning the election. He's probably using Polymarket. If Trump wins the election, there's a 100% chance that Gary Gensler is fired and the U.S. government establishes a strategic Bitcoin reserve and a council. And they will stop selling their Bitcoin, and they'll free Ross. And there's just a bunch of stuff they're doing, right? So he's saying do the math and act accordingly. Like, don't be stupid here. This is not a sell the news event. This is definitely a buy the news event. And then my buddy Lark Davis, he's a good crypto YouTuber. He's got a pretty good head on his shoulders, but he talks a lot of shit coins. He's just showing that we're going to see stuff going up because of the Trump pump. And I agree. Trader Tardigrade, this is a great TA if you want somebody to look at. He says the Bitcoin 2 more candles to hit 100,000. BTC behaves strong uptrend momentum on macro chart according to previous moves. BTC could hit 100,000 within 6 months. I actually agree with that. I think that's pretty easy for this to do. And he's got a 3-month chart here. That's why he's saying 6 months. So each one of these lines here is a 3-month period. And as you can see, these are usually really pretty good times, right? So he's just saying he sees that pattern repeating. And again, Tardigrade's great at looking at patterns, looking at the point of control, looking at the previous resistance levels that are turned into levels of support, like here, and then looking at the measured move going higher. He actually has this thing going to 110. I think, again, we probably take a breather at 92. I don't quite approve with what he's showing here, but I think he's really spot on otherwise. And then Yodha says Bitcoin monthly close is coming in 4 days. If it's a bullish monthly close, again, 4 days. Expecting good things in the coming 2 months. And it will, because we have a bull flag here, right? That's what he's trying to point out, and he's showing kind of measured moves for potential sell. He's saying all the way up to 150. Actually, lately, Tom Lee has been saying 150 by the end of the year, and I don't think it's crazy. Also in Bitcoin news, the University of Wyoming has created a Bitcoin Research Institute to output peer-reviewed academic research on Bitcoin and contribute to curriculum in philosophy, economics, and interdisciplinary courses. This is cool, man. It's cool when academia is working to do something good. I feel like all too often they are not. Thomas from Apollo has a great one here. I love this guy. He said Trump just announced his strategic Bitcoin reserve policy, and the message is coming through. Buy Bitcoin. Look at the search results. Highest since April. And he only did it over this time frame, 90 days. It's probably, getting even better than that. And I went over this earlier, just from Balaji and all the things that he was talking about with Trump here. Again, this call was so positive. It was just so positive. I'm really excited about what's coming next. There's a lot of good stuff here. Yeah, we went through all this. But there's a lot of good stuff here, and I'm really excited about it. So let's see, 69,440. I was hoping that we'd get this run right away. That's the way it works, though. If you go live, the run don't happen, and you just end up sitting here and talking. But again, so here's what I expect. I think that you should be prepared to wake up tomorrow morning and we're past 70,000, and maybe there's a stupid number. This happens about this time in the cycles, and you could see a God candle. I mean, it doesn't have to happen tomorrow by any means, but you could see over the course of the next week to a month, 92,000 just grinding up, and miners more than doubling. Some shit coins going up 300%, like 200, 300%. You could see some crazy stuff that's going to start to make it really fun. All right, let me get caught up with chat. So, C-List, Jesse, did you keep any of the BTC that you mined? Yeah, I still have it, yeah. That's like Virgin Bitcoin, right? That all went into the hardware wallet and hasn't moved. So really, it's just not on any ledgers outside of the Bitcoin ledger. So it's kind of nice. Sidecar guy, sweet, another video. Hey, yeah, man. I don't know what it is. I'm just getting fired up lately. We'll see how long it lasts. C-list, BTC is fungible, of course, but having mined it could be a bit sentimental. Yeah, and again, it's just one of those things where, again, like I think Virgin Bitcoin could actually in the future operate at a premium. I know it sounds weird, but people want to know that it wasn't used for illicit activity because, again, the government, at least for a while, especially some governments like China and maybe even the United States, could try and confiscate Bitcoin at the entries and exits, right? When you're trying to convert to fiat, that's where they have, the anti-money laundering, the KYC, the know your customer laws. That's where they're really intertwined with the banking system, the feds, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. That's like, so not having like any history where you have to worry about them maybe trying to confiscate Bitcoin, I think that goes for a premium in the future. I really do. I've thought about it fairly long. Toshi, what targets do you have for CleanSpark versus bullish on the GRDI acquisition and getting Harry Sudduck on the team? I haven't kept up enough on Bitcoin miners. I actually probably need to do more research and just see where they're sitting. I know that CleanSpark, from all the research I've done and being invested in them for like the last 3.5, 4 years, however long it's been, that I feel very confident on their ability to excel this cycle. And again, I diversify too, right? Like I got Mara, I got Cypher, I got CleanSpark, and then I've got MicroStrategy, and then I've got a bunch of shitcoins. So I'm pretty well diversified, but I need to get caught up with some of the minor stuff. Maybe I'll spend more time on that. The person I would listen to is Sebastian Ski. He's really great about Bitcoin miners and just doing research. I don't know if I agree with all of his takes, but the level that he keeps you up to date with the news and just the sheer number of analytics he looks at. Him and James from Invest Answers, those guys are awesome. Let me see. Sorry, Jesse, I know this is a BTC video. You mentioned you're interested in TLT. Can you look at TNA, January 2026 options? There's a chance of 4x multiple given. See, I worry about doing options with them. I will probably do that. I don't think I'll do it right now, but I am looking, like I said, towards maybe adding to TLT. And let me just... so this is the 20-year bond, right? This is the bond that's had a couple 100-year route. It's a little bit of a bet. So here's my thesis on this one, right? My thesis on this one, and I wouldn't do options with this because these play out over such long periods of time. Like it could grind for a while, and if you don't hit your targets. So I don't know. I haven't looked at it though. So I won't say that I wouldn't do options on this one. But what I love is that this has been decimated. And its ability, I would say, to go back up, especially if America isn't falling apart. If China's falling apart, America's still doing all right. And then at the same time, we got the money printer going burr. We got AI pushing forward. We got robotics, autonomy's working with Tesla. And we're doing the Bitcoin reserve thing. We're lowering corporate and capital gains taxes. We're really going to be firing on all cylinders. So I could see people going from, oh, fuck, America is bullshit. It's not going to last. It's going to fall apart. I'm more of the Lynn Alden type approach. This could take a decade for the U.S. currency to be problematic. Or if autonomy and robotics and all these other things really do start creating massive amounts of growth, the growth could outpace the craziness with our currency. And then if you own Bitcoin, you'll just get really rich while we're printing shit tons of money until it kind of dissolves away or we figure out some alternative. Again, maybe we grow GDP so much that we're making so much money as a country that we can actually start to service the debt. That's a crazy thing to think of, but I think it's possible. So again, my bet here is that we could see this thing bouncing. And I'm not looking to make a ton of money. I'm just looking to get my little dividend payouts. And then at the same time, on top of that, I'm looking to have this kind of be like a source of funds, like cash, right? So if I can go, I mean, again, just looking at this, and maybe TNA, I'll jump over to TNA. TNA is probably not crazy. Here's what I don't like about TNA, though. I don't like the idea of getting TNA, because it's a multiple, basically, of the 20-year. It's operates at a multiple, and we'll pull it up in a second. But I think this is how far we could go up. I think we can go up 30% pretty easily over the next year or two, right? And so TNA could double my money if I'm using that as cash, that doesn't sound like a bad deal at all. So let's look at TNA. Not going to pull up the options on this one, but we'll at least look at this. Is this the one? Oh no, this is the small cap one. Isn't there a? I'm trying to think. Isn't there a 3x version of TLT? Do you guys know what that is? Anybody? 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 Oh, I'll look for it over here. 3x 20-year bond ticker symbol. What is it? What is it? What is it? Treasury. What is the ticker? TMF. TMF. Is that what? Yeah, it's been so long since I've looked at this stuff. I forgot. Wow, getting old, man. Yeah, okay. So this is what I was curious about. So yeah, and you can see where I have this written up too. So TMF is the 3x of the 20-year. Now, I don't know if this is a good thing to get into right now. But again, you're not losing a lot of money through here. But the great thing about this is this 3x fund, I could see us doing something like this in the next, year to 2 years. Like I could see us maybe testing up. And again, even if it did this, even if it was up 122%, and that's my cash position, I like it. And if it goes up to 200%, I won't hate that either. So TMF might be something I start to dial into, because when it does break and explode higher, it will explode higher. And if you just look here, like let's see, we'll try and let me just draw this here, this resistance line, so you guys can see it better. And maybe is it this way? I think it's this way. Let me line it up. Should have had probably, yeah, okay, that's beautiful. So again, if you're looking at this wants to break out. This does want to break out, and maybe I need to draw it just a little lower. It's kind of a weird one. Yeah, that's probably closer. So I don't know if the very end there counts much, or we just had a wick above it. But this is kind of what we're looking at for this one. So you can see where this thing's been grinding under this level since August of 2022. That's why I don't like options with this, because they can take a long time to play out, right? August of 2022 is 2 years ago. So I don't love option plays with this kind of stuff. Maybe they're looking better, though. Maybe you're onto something. I just got to take a look. But I do think that we're going to reach a point here where we start to flip. It's been 1,600 days since we hit the high on the 20-year. And I think over the next year or two, people might actually be pleasantly surprised by what they see for the U.S. And if that happens, the narrative can flip. People love flipping narratives. It's one of their favorite things. All right, let me take a look here and get caught up in chat again. My buddy Adam's in here, Palantir 3030. He's a stud. But yeah, let me run down the list. Harry Singh, should I get into Solana, MicroStrategy, or miners as a proxy? Totally up to you, dude. I don't know your situation at all. But I like those plays. I think you just need to make sure you think about taxes and make sure that you're thinking about, long-term and short-term capital gains if you're in the States. Because again, I think these things could run for the next 9 to 15 months. But I blocked my shit in like February, March. All right, let me get down here. Cody, what ledger what do I use for my Bitcoin? I don't tell people. Rambler, if you got BTC on Coinbase, is it on a ledger? I don't tell people. Jax, did you watch the X takeover event with Elon's surprise visit? Why didn't you take the Cybertruck? Did you get it wrapped yet? Oh yeah, dude. I've got. Yeah, I didn't go to that. But no, I got it wrapped. I did get my Cybertruck wrapped. I posted about it. Elon liked it actually. He told me my Cybertruck wrap was nice, which I thought was wonderful, and I almost shit my pants. I'm not gonna lie. I was very excited about that. Let me see. What do we got? We got something. Oh yeah, cool moments on Twitter. That sounds like a place I would put it. Yeah, so right here, we got Elon Musk telling me that I've got a sick-looking Cybertruck. So I was pretty stoked about that. Oh, let me see if I can get this. Yeah, so he said nice. And that made my whole fucking week. So it looks a little cooler than this now. I'm going to get a rack on the back here too. And I've got some other like decals and things that are sitting on it. And it's pretty well tweaked out. I got some silver-looking American flags kind of sitting along the side here too, to let all the coal rollers know that I'm a decent person. So, yeah, anyway, but I don't know. No Trump flag or no Trump flags or emblems yet, but maybe one day here. Don't know how my liberal friends will take it. But yeah, no. So I've got it wrapped, and I love it, man. I love that truck. I am getting it fixed right now, though. I was going 70 into floodwaters, and evidently you're not supposed to skip it like a rock. So I got to fix that. But here's the good news. I said this in another stream, but if you didn't hear it, it's only going to cost me $430 for the armor plate that I bent back from hitting it's kind of like a brick wall. Water turns into a brick wall at 70 miles an hour, especially when it's rushing in to the bottom of the car. But luckily it's like a skateboard, so it actually did that like crazily well. And I'm pretty sure I launched water like 100 feet plus into the air. It was insane. It was very fun. Very much my style. So I'm 46 right now, and I can still have a good time. All right, Palantir 3030, my buddy Adam. Rambler, no, it's not. When they buy or sell, it gets in the Ledger blockchain, not when you do. Sealess, true, but Satoshis don't have unique identifiers, unfortunately. That would take too much storage and encryption. Jesse, let's pump it up. No shit, bro. Totally agree. And let me go back over here. I'm going to get back to Bitcoin and just make sure. Yeah, so maybe we're just going to chill for a while, but we can go over some other stuff. And if you guys have anything you want me to look up or questions, this is probably a great time to do it. Harry, thanks, Jesse. You're a star. Thanks, bro. What are your thoughts on getting options on MicroStrategy after the stock split? I don't like options right now with crypto. I do use options, but I try to strategically place them. I sold out of all I bought CleanSpark options when CleanSpark was in the dollars, right? Let me see. Oh, I hate that I have to reset all these. I'm going to have to save them. So I was buying options for CleanSpark like over here when everybody was telling me I was a fucking idiot for the second time. Because I did it over here too. And then they really told me I was fucking stupid when it was under $1. But yeah, I was buying options like here and here. And I sell out of them like up here or by the gold. By the time we get to the golden fib, I'm definitely out, right? Like by the time we went from here to here, I'm fucking out. But I actually got out before that. I probably got out like over here and then switched to stock because I'm a pretty conservative dude. I know it's not sound like it. But I did get 700% last year. I was proud of that. This year, I'm probably close to flat. I might be down like 3 or 4% right now, just because the last week was pretty brutal earlier in the week. But I still plan on having over 100% this year. And so, but I consider myself conservative because I like to time options at the appropriate time, like when it's over here, and then go long, and then get out of that, get my 3, 4, 5, 6, 10x, and then move on. Let's see here, Austin Tan. So yeah, I personally would only be in stock for Bitcoin-related investments and crypto-related investments right now. I just don't think the risk to reward is good enough. If you haven't watched my Options 101 video, watch it. It does a good job of showing the risk curve based on time. And these are very bought. They're very bought. Lots of people doing options. And it's scary because it's like amateur hour. It's not the people that know how to use them. Austin Tan, hey Jesse, I was looking at TNA, the underlying as the IWM, not bond related. Yeah, no, I got you. And I'm sorry about that. I kind of diverted that conversation. We can look at that too. I'm just kind of a little more excited about bonds because I like the idea of taking my gains and then putting them in something that could yield me 200% returns over the next like 2 to 3 years, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, somewhere around there, and have that be my cash. You know what I mean? Like that just kind of gets me excited. And this is like my the world's falling apart shit fund, because now because normally what happened over the last several like 4 years is not normal in any means. And there's this big narrative that China was doing really well and that there was going to be the death of the U.S. dollar and BRICS was taking over. Just a lot of stupid shit that these morons were believing and is not true. So, but a huge narrative nonetheless, right? A huge narrative nonetheless. And so, but now what we're seeing is that the dollar probably isn't going to die and that we're becoming a Bitcoin country, actually the country with the largest amount of Bitcoin on earth. and that we're going to have a pro-growth president. That is what we need right now at this time. Because if we had a president that is big on taxation and government control and inefficiency, we would get destroyed. And I would actually be afraid of what the world would look like if we got a Kamala Harris type person in power. But with Trump winning, because he will, but vote to make that happen, we won't have that problem, and we can actually start focusing on innovation and growth and expansion and growing our way out of debt. Doesn't work forever, but it could definitely help us in the next couple of years, and that's what I see happening. Because you guys that are new to me, global liquidity is huge in my investment thesis. The stuff that Michael Howell talks about and a bunch of other brilliant people is very important, and he came up with the concept of global liquidity, and it's a lot more than just an M2 money supply, and it's very important to understand and watch that. And it's not even supposed to peak until the end of 2025, beginning of 2026, the same time when we're supposed to see a big peak in Bitcoin, the same time we could actually see like some of the ramifications really playing out for an overextended market from the everything rally, which I think comes before the everything bubble, if we do in fact get it. Which I still think is possible, if not probable. Anyway, Rambler. I feel like I'm the Rambler. Wow, that looks good. Woo. Oh, for the truck? Thank you, man. Cody, Jesse is a conservative now. Yep, kind of. I've kind of always been one. I mean, I'm still super liberal on social issues. I don't like people telling people how to live their lives. But I also don't want to have other people shoving their dick in my face on TV or balls or whatever, like in the Olympics, right? So, I mean, whatever that is. I'm like a live and let live person, but you better not, push my family and my kids and tell them that they have to be okay with everything that happens in the world. We'll live our own life and decide what we believe is right. So I'm liberal and also pretty conservative. I think I'm the right balance. I think everybody should be that way. To whatever degree that makes them comfortable. Silas, what do you think about Galaxy Digital? I don't know. He's I mean, he's the head of the Galaxy Digital is smart, but he also has been a complete idiot. He's lost shit tons of money. He tattooed Luna on his arm. Needless to say, that did not work out well, and so he's made really bad decisions too. So I don't know. I don't know that I would invest in anything that he does. Bliss L, Jesse, what is your highest conviction positions? Obviously Tesla and Bitcoin, but if you had extra cash to deploy now, where would you stick it? I mean, definitely Tesla and Bitcoin related and crypto investments. That's where the vast majority of my wealth is going right now. I do have a smaller amount. Let me just go back over here. And I need to update this. I said I was going to do it, and I didn't do it. What a liar. Such an asshole. But I have less in Tesla right now because, again, it just got beat up last week. But I bought the dip and leaned into that. I sold a little bit of MSTR. But if you look at the allocations here, MicroStrategy, CleanSpark, Shitcoins, Mara, Cypher, BITX, Ethi, all these things make up actually a pretty big portion, and probably over 50% of my portfolio, just Bitcoin related investments. So it's a pretty big sum. It's actually probably larger than this because, again, the Tesla part shrunk. So it could be like 60% of mine, plus my own personal holdings and Bitcoin on a hardware wallet. So, but if I was investing in other stuff, I know it's going to sound stupid because I've lost so much money on it, at least right now. But I'd probably put it in PayPal and ArcG, the option contracts that I'm in. That's kind of where I'm shoving money into. And then I still have a couple of these. They're probably less than 1% now between DLO and Flux. But these are the only things I'm really playing with. But again, I'm probably going to be adding to my 20-year bond fund to start just kind of putting that away as cash. Because I think it's pretty stable now. If you look over here, the TMF, and this is the 3X fund, is just grinding. So you don't really have a lot of downside risk, and you're looking towards a breakup to the upside. So this feels like a really safe place for me to be able to take, like if I'm going to start dialing out of some of my, Tesla, if like let's say Tesla gets a crazy run to 300 and I want to sell 20-30% of my existing contracts. I'm going to put some into this probably, maybe a little bit into cash, some into this. My goal is to have probably by the end of this year at least $500,000 in this TMF 3X fund. because I think that could turn out to be, like I said, the ability to double. And if I had a 500,000, I could make a 500,000, and having 1,000,000 and like sitting on the side, just ready for some shitty times, doesn't feel like a bad decision. And then, if Bitcoin drops, I buy the dips and sell some of this shit, right? And I don't have a lot of downside risk because I just don't think it goes under 44. And from 50 to 44, I mean, that's a lot better than owning a shit coin and having it roll over, like 60% over the course of a couple months, like a lot of them did. So it makes for good dip buying. Let me see here. Harry, I love MSTR and BTC proxies, and I have about a third of my crypto in Solana. Cool. Jax, I gotta go back. You guys are moving a little. Jax said, what is your view on SLMR and ONMD and companies like based on them taking the MSTR strategy and adding Bitcoin to the balance sheet? I love the idea of doing it. I don't know what they're sitting at for, let me see real quickly if I have either one of those in here. Nope, I gotta check. Don't have that one. Let's see. The other one, SLMR, sounds familiar. And I know there's that, nope, I don't have these. Let's pull them up. I'm curious. I want to take a look. Make a copy. SLMR. So I think all of that is kind of like, I think it's kind of cash grabs, right? Because they've seen this is game theory in action, because they've seen this work out really good for MicroStrategy and other companies. And so they're like MetaPlanet, the Japanese company. And so they're like, we should do this. We could raise a ton of capital. Is it SLMR? Is that the right one for that one? I don't see it on here. Or is it SMLR? Is it Similar Scientific? Is that the one? That might sound more right. I don't know. Let me know if that's the right one. Otherwise, let me see. What was the ONMD? I'll just check that one. I can always rename this. Is that One MedNet Corp? Oh, okay. So I'll update that other one in a second. So here's the thing. So they're doing that, and they might get a pump off of it. I don't know what their financials look like. That would be the stuff I'd probably check. So I'm guessing that they probably announced something in May of 2024 for OneMed. And then that brought them up to 341 from being a penny stock in the 46 range. I wouldn't do this shit personally. I think MSTR MicroStrategy is the one you want to do. Again, this is kind of like, these are like cash grabs to me. I'm willing to bet. Let's just do something. Let's have some fun here. Let's pull up OneMed and see how it looks like in here. If it's in here or not. Let me go to one. Let me just type it out. OneMed. Oh, it might not even be in here. So I might have to look at the financials over here. Where was I? There we go. Let me see down here. I'll go to more financials. Might have to like move some screens around here. Let's see. I never look in this view anymore. Let me see. Yearly, annual. Yeah. So revenue to profit conversion. These guys lose money. They haven't been around that long. They had a positive net income in 2021. It looks like that's as far back as they go. They lost shit tons of money compared to revenue. They had 1 million in revenue for this company for 2023. 1 million. Okay. I haven't started a lot of businesses, but I could probably start one and get $1 million worth of revenue in a year. So I don't think this is a good company. And they lost 23 million. So I don't know a lot about this company and what they're doing. Maybe they're okay. They've got 20 employees, and they were founded in 2009. You think you'd be bigger? I don't know. I would personally stay the fuck away from this shit. I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's just risk. That's my take. Might give you a quick pump, but then it's just danger. Bliss. Harry, I love MicroStrategy. Oh, okay, we read that one. C-List, Classic Liberal, Rambler. Opinions on Russell Index. I mean, I like it. I think IWM is a great way to play that. That's the Tom Lee one, right? And I'm not even going to save this other chart, but I think I have IWM. I should. Yeah, okay. There we go. And so this one, the Russell 2000, oh, I hate that I have to do this with all these fucking charts. All right, better say this one. So it's been again, we're at levels that we were at in February of 2021. So 3.5 years ago. So I would say that this one still has plenty of room to launch. And this is, yeah. So I would say that there's a really good chance that we see this go up, another 30% probably from here. I usually follow it just under the rut. That's the one I have. This is the ETF, but I just follow the index personally myself. That's where all my charts are. I don't have it loaded in here though. But I think I think it can do really well. I think another 30% is probably, coming in the next, between now and the end of the year. Seedless, my ETH spin off an equivalent amount of ETH symbol in stock account. Do you understand what's going on? Yeah, I saw some weird. There can be some weird. Whenever you have like stock splits or like these ETF creation events where everything's changing, some of it can be in flux for a period of time. And I don't know what the exact details were of this, but there seems to be something where I have multiple symbols, and I think we're probably in the same boat. Yeah, so I have 1,900, and just looks like we're coming back. We must have dropped for a second. But yeah, that should catch up hopefully in a second here for you. But it is weird how they've done it. I'll have to look it up. I don't know off the top of my head, but I'll do some research and let you know what happened with ETH when they got that new ETF. I'll let you know. Hopefully you guys got all that, because I ain't saying it again. All right, Harry, thanks, Bliss. Ethan, yes. Jax, yes. It looks like we dropped for a second. Sorry about that. Again, the new internet's coming. Sealess, Michael Saylor did state that he had provided the blueprint for others to mimic MicroStrategies yesterday. Yeah, he did. He's been doing that for years, actually. So I think that that's going to continue to happen. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still looking good. Again, just pushing up against that resistance, guys. I don't know if we're going to get the breakout that I was hoping that we were going to get tonight. But I do think that this is still looking very strong, like I said, and I would expect us to go higher. And again, start thinking maybe about what you're going to do next when you do start to nibble off some profits. If we got to 92,000 in the next week, what's your plan? I know what my plan is. My plan would be to add to TMF and start putting some money in there. And so I got a plan for taking profits that could still lead to more profits in the future and be a decent hedge. So I don't know what your guys' plan is, but definitely develop something like that. Sealess, Jack's got the fist bump. Sealess, I mean not wanting everything trans pride in your face to be classical liberal. Yeah, here's what I look. I actually have no problem with trans or gay people. My best friends are two gay married men, and I was at their wedding and a part of their wedding, right? But I do think that it gets weird when you force feed your beliefs on people. The Olympics was a great example of that. There were scenes in there where they took a cross off of a building in Paris, that has a cross on it. You've got drag queens that are sitting in a formation that looks exactly like the Last Supper. And then you have like satanic symbolism of people that literally look like devils, just mocking Christianity. I'm not even religious, okay? But I find that incredibly offensive for like 1 billion plus people on this earth. I just don't believe things like that are healthy. And I watch some dudes that are gay that talk about stuff on YouTube, and they're like, guys, this doesn't help our cause at all. I want to live a regular fucking life like a normal human being, and having you guys do stupid shit like this makes people hate me. And so there's a lot of people in that community that are just like, this is fucking stupid, and we don't need this shit. So stop it. Act like normal fucking people. Here's what I believe. I believe in meritocracy. I believe that what you do in life is more important than what you were born into or what you feel like you are, right? So you being gay, if that's the most important thing in your life, I feel bad for you. You being black, if that's the most important thing in your life, I feel bad for you. If you being white is the most important thing in your life, I feel bad for you. Because your feelings of yourself should come from what you do in your life, what you put into your life, the people that you help, how you impact others, what you can learn, what you can build. It should be these kind of things that actually fucking matter. It shouldn't be like, hey, I'm gay but identify as a goat. Like, I don't give a fuck. Nobody fucking cares about that shit. And so, like, again, I get super annoyed by people trying to force feed like this is what you have to deal with, and we're gonna put it everywhere because it's good for you, and you just have to fucking be happy with it, or you're a racist or MAGA or some shit. Because I come from a more classic liberalist background where people like me are from the like 60s and 70s type of people, believe that you live and let live. And that as long as people aren't hurting other people, you leave them alone, but you don't force your beliefs upon them. That's the fucking world I want to live in. Sorry. Segue. Sealess caused that. Sealess. It's not the Olympic spirit. Agreed. Western excess has also caused clampdowns in Africa and Asia. What do you mean by that? Could you go in more depth on that? Body by Jake 7. What do you think of GNRC, a capital-intensive and cyclical business with quite a bit of debt that will be cheaper to finance in the future when rates come down? Does this make any sense? Yeah, I understand what you're talking about, but I don't know anything about the company. Let me look real quick. All right, GNRC. Oh, I should do a copy. Actually, make a copy. GNRC. And let me look at the chart real quick, and then I'll pull up the actual financials. Can you guys say something in chat just to make sure that you're still there? I was kind of going off on a rant. I want to make sure that I'm not disconnected. All right. Generac. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it's been in the doghouse. Let's go back further. So I knew of this company. I just didn't know the symbol. Oh, we should do this too. We're going to do a trend-based fib extension. We're going to do it from that classic date where we can find a good bottom, which is like when markets are at their worst, right? So March of 2020. The bottom of the stock market. We're going to draw it down to our recent bottom, and then we're going to pull this over a little bit because we want to make it to where it's easy to read. So this is it. We're going to lock it. All right. So this is interesting. You can see the 200 moving average on the weekly is up here in the 200s. Maybe you'd probably get strong resistance up around here in the 250s. But what does the actual company look like for their financials? Let's see. GNRC. What's up here? Hey, Rambler. Bliss, you're good. C-list, when Western countries tell developing countries that they must be more LGBT friendly, etc., it often causes resentment and intensification of hostility. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think, again, I don't know if America's in a good place to tell anybody what to do better outside of maybe China and communist dictatorships around the world, or Islamic radicalists that want to murder all the Jews, those kind of people. And I'm not saying that's every Islamic person, okay? I just think that group, that theology is closer to where, I don't know, the Christianity was maybe, hundreds of years ago, where they just murdered and raped people that weren't them in the name of Jesus. So, yeah, I think Islam is kind of like at that point in their timeline, and it's not a great place to be. Anyway, Generac. Okay, so we got debt. We got 1.4 billion in debt, 249,000 in cash, no bonds. Buying back stock. Revenue is kind of topped off in 2022, but again, this is probably, what are they? 9.7 billion. And these guys might, I don't know, what are they going to have for competition? My worry is like, what all does Generac make? Let's go over here. Yes, so they're like backup generators. Ugh, so here's the deal. I like the thought process behind your play. I like that. I don't know if this is going to be the best version. And don't get me wrong, they could do all right. And it's a forward P of 25. It's not bad. My worry is, do these guys end up getting replaced for the most part by like Tesla Powerwalls in the future? And did they start to suck up their business? And don't get me wrong, these guys could probably bounce and do really good. If we look at the yearly here, you could definitely see the growth before the high interest rate environment. And the demand is high. So this might still be a good play, but my big fear would just be whether or not Tesla starts, eating any of their business. And again, maybe parts of China that aren't Tesla, probably Tesla though. Anyway, JJ Nold, getting my Cybertruck wrapped in satin black this week. Congrats, dude. I fucking love my Cybertruck so much. I can see why you're probably stoked. Love your stream, by the way. You're the man. Thanks, dude. Dominic, hey Jesse, any thoughts on Lulu as an options play? Maybe. I just don't like retail right now. I still worry about retail, man. I do. But Lulu, if the markets are going to turn around, rich people are going to get richer, and I would think that sales benefit from reduced rates. So if you're going to be in retail, I think rich man's retail might be a good one. And bitches love Lulu. So let's take a look at that for a second. But let me read the rest of the chat here. Sealess, they use natural gas to make power, right? Who are we talking about? Rambler, do you think the drill baby drill policy will kill solar? No, man, I think it's all good. He said he's pro energy. I'm pro energy. And here's the thing. Battery storage is the area Elon keeps talking about. That's where he thinks that Tesla's really going to grow. So I'm not worried about that. I think Tesla benefits Tesla doesn't really benefit from solar. China has made it so cheap and they flooded the markets for so many years. It hasn't been advantageous for Tesla to really pick that up and run with it, right? So they're not. They're like, okay, well, we'll keep getting cheap solar cells and we'll keep trying to build newer versions of the Tesla solar roof and to where it's cost effective, and then we'll get into the game. But they're in no rush to do that. So all their money is made off of energy, and they've got, I think, 3 or 4 years of back orders now and growth that's just going to start to get exponential, and then a rate lowering environment. So excuse me. Wow. So I actually think that Tesla will do really good in that environment because, again, all these other sources of energy that are firing up, you don't want them as peaker plants. You want them as base energy, like maybe 70% of the load. And then you want battery storage, whether it's solar, wind, nuclear, whatever, probably not nuclear, but other forms of energy. You want to have backup energy that can basically handle peaks. And I guess with nuclear too, right? So that you don't have to worry about, brownouts and shit like that. So they're going to be installing those things everywhere on a residential level, a commercial level, and an industrial level all across the world. And the demand is going to be massive. That's why I think Tesla Energy is so much bigger than people realize. So no, I don't think it gets hurt by drill baby drill, man. I mean, if you look at it, we're at record drilling right now. Biden said one thing and then he did the other. That's one of the things I like about him, is that he's big. We're the biggest LNG gas distributor for the world now. We shot that up through nothing. And then also we've got record oil production. So we're good on all those fronts. And I think Trump will just push that to an even further extreme. And lower energy helps everybody, man. Everybody. Kumar, what do you think of MCD long term? Is that McDonald's? Is that who MCD is? Let me go over here. I think I have that one. MCD. I think that's McDonald's. I don't know, dude. I don't know what to think here. It's a good question. I think that it looks like it's going to roll over. And McDonald's is not doing super great. I mean, look at how they did in the pandemic. Jeez. But now they got mobile ordering. They've got pull up there and get the stuff. Here's what I worry about. You're underneath on the weekly time frame. You have broken underneath the 200 moving average, which is like the worst possible fucking thing to do. Now, when you did it under this big drop and all markets were going down deep, then this was deep value territory. When it was at 222 and it dropped all the way down to 124, if you bought there, you made tons of money. But the slow rollover, where we kept the 100 moving average as support for a long period of time, years. And then we've dropped underneath of it, still found support, then dropped underneath of it, but we're dropping further and further, and now we're at the 200. This thing looks like it wants to roll over. So I personally would be looking more for a drop, and what I would do is probably like a fib retracement level. I would draw it from here up to here, and I would say that there's a possibility that we go down even to the 230s. Now, if the markets do really good, people are spending money again. Excuse me. There we go. That helps a little bit. Then maybe we start testing up here to the 250, 260 range and start going higher again. But I'm more worried that we roll over. First Solar is the only big Western solar company left, I think. Yeah, dude, and I don't even know how profitable they are. They don't use standard minerals for solar panels. It's a different process. Let's pull them up, actually, real quick here. I want to see how they're doing. I haven't looked at them in a while. I'm imagining that China hasn't been fun or higher interest. Yeah, they're actually still doing pretty good. Forward PE is only 16. Shit. That's fascinating. Huh, you might have given me something I'm interested in, bro. Because when rates drop, I wonder what options look like on this one. Let me just look at this real quick. Oh, but the price is doing pretty good because the growth has been so strong. This is a $24 billion company, and it's only got a 20 or 16 PE. I guess that's probably not crazy. But wow, these guys could do, if you look at the yearly, what's the yearly look like? Oh wow, they were in decline too. They were really not doing well. And you can see the seasonality here. But look at this, 2023. Well, that's not even seasonality. These are just bad years. But they had a record 2023 and a record Q4, it looks like. 349 million. What does their estimates look like? What do they think they're doing in the future? Oh, still screaming higher. And then with rates dropping, could that be real? Huh. This is kind of fun. This is an interesting one, man. I'm going to probably make a note on this one. I like it. I want to see where it's going. Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen with this one right now, but with revenue growth of 45% year over year, this could end up having some interesting plays. They got a lot of cash. Maybe we do have a decent solar business in the United States. Yeah, sorry, Lululemon. I need to pull that out. Would love to have you look at Lulu. Yes, I will. Let's do it real quick. Yeah, so I'll probably take a closer look at First Solar and look at options too and see what they look like. Let's go to Lululemon here. I actually own some of this stuff. Very overpriced, but it's comfortable as hell. I actually like this place called Fresh Threads. I've been buying stuff from them. Very comfortable and not that expensive. And they have like a lot of sales. So revenue growth was only 10% year over year. Still, God, look how well this company's performed. 2023 took a hit, obviously. I mean, that makes sense, right? Rates were just stupid. But boy, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. The thing I don't know about this is fashion's weird. So it's like, is Lululemon still cool? Can anybody tell me that? Because revenue's still doing good. And we've got, yeah, gosh, this isn't bad looking. What do they have for their PE? 17? That's probably about right for retail. So not too rich. I don't know. Let's see what the actual stock has done. Let's see what the stock has done, because that could be the more interesting part. Lulu. I'm pretty sure I got it. Yeah, I do. Yep, I owned FSLR in the 2000s, and I'm considering it again. Yeah, I might be considering it too, bro. We'll see here. All right, so Lululemon. Oh, it did drop hard. Cool. Cool. So let's get rid of this trend-based extension because it's been eating it. Let's see where the support levels are. So let's go to March of 2020 again. We'll just call that our epic move. So wow, this thing broke under the .618. This has had a horrible run. Probably like a lot of things in retail. This might be a fun buy. I'm not really, it's not really my bet because I'm so deep into crypto right now and Bitcoin and Tesla and just really good asymmetric bets with those and Arc Genomics and PayPal. I think those are really good asymmetric bets. But if retail continued to suffer for a while, I might be interested in this just to see, because again, it's down over 50%. That's a pretty big retrace. This is where you would start to expect maybe some kind of bounce. It almost looks like a megaphone. It looks like it's starting to do like a megaphone type pattern. Something like, this for resistance. I gotta change the colors of this stuff. And like this for support. It seems like we're doing this. Like maybe we're range bound for a while. But it could megaphone and break out. But it's interesting. I just don't know if it's for me. There's so many other good asymmetric bets that are just like golden, and this is a sector I don't know too well outside of owning some of the close. But it's interesting. And I do like, here's what I like about it. I mean, look at the weekly time frame. The RSI is 23. It's probably pretty safe for an easy ride. So you could probably get like, I don't know, up to 300 pretty easy. But again, it's just not enough of a return for me. All right, guys, let's see. Let's check Bitcoin. If Bitcoin hasn't moved, all right. So here again, I just want to reiterate, this is so beautiful. Also, we haven't talked about it, but I need to show you. I just want to reiterate, I haven't done that in this one, but we're going to do it right now. Tesla, there's some stuff I need to do. Let me remove some drawings here. I'm going to hide drawings. So here's what I want to show you on Tesla. And I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to change the scale. So what I want to show you is what's getting ready to happen right now. The 50 and the 200 moving averages. That's this purple and this orange right here. And let me just change this. I'll turn off the 100. And then, well, I won't fuck around with the others right now. Yeah, maybe I will. Give me a second. I'm just going to increase their size because I want to make this visually easier to understand. And I can do it better this way. So I'm going to make these really fucking bold. I want to do that to this other one here. And so here's what I want to show you. This is important, okay? Look at the last time the 50 moving average really ripped. Like you could see it here. And we did good. So from here where this happened, where we started to cross, you were at 200 and you made it up to like 300. So you got a 50% upside move, right? But here, looking here, and I think it's the weekly we actually probably need to focus on. Nope, it's the daily. But if you look here, look at the other times this has happened, okay? So we're right here. We're getting ready to do it again. If you look over here, when it happened, when the 50 crossed above the 200, we got 3,300%, from the bottom up. And then if we look over here, when the 50 crossed over the 200, we went from about 14 to about 26. So about a 90% increase, 85% increase. So you can see how we stand a decent chance of an additional launch here. And I think it's coming. And let me see. I'm going to pull back further here. I want to look at the weekly and see what that looks like too. It's not really telling right now. But yeah, so I think with Tesla too, we stand a really good chance of having a launch, especially with the way FSD is happening. And if that's true, there's a lot of money to be made from Tesla and Bitcoin related investments in the months ahead. That's what I think is going to happen in the next months, quarters, and 9 months to a year. So I'm looking forward to making a lot of money from all these investments. I think you guys should be too. I think you should be excited about this gap bringing us back up to the 240s. And if Tesla could break down to the 200 moving average in the 50 still starting next week, if that happens and crypto is flying, I will be buying more of these. Like I said, I got 60 or 70,000 in cash right now that I was hoping to buy. I was hoping we'd drop down to the 200 and get in like the 205 range on Friday, but we didn't. So if we do, by some miracle, have a drop down here, and I'll probably be selling like more MicroStrategy or something else, and taking my 60, 70,000 in cash, and I'll be buying this dip and adding to it, which means I'll probably have more calls than I had when I was buying down here and telling you we're getting ready to launch, and I made $750,000. So I hope we drop on Monday and into next week so that I can buy more of that. That's my plan. So my plan is more of that, and then again starting to buy TMF and getting into my bonds as I make shit tons of money. Sell out slowly, take a little bit of profit, start stashing some of it away in hedges and things that I think are going to skyrocket. That's the plan for next week, guys. Since nothing's really happening, I think I'm going to call it right here. Buy the dip. Yes, Rambler. That's what I would say to do. And Kumar, Jesse, before you go, what's your Tesla end of year target? That's a really tough thing to answer. End of year is like, what do I think we can do between now and the end of the year? I think we can hit 300 pretty easily, and maybe even go past it. Now, will we be at that at the end of the year? I don't know based on timing. We don't have to be. But I think getting to 300 is pretty easy. We have a gap to fill there. I think that by the end of next year, I would be surprised if we hadn't hit at least 400. I would be surprised, and I think there's a possibility of getting up in the 600 range over here and maybe even a leap to the 900 range, depending upon how FSD is going. So I'm really probably selling a decent amount of calls when we go up 34% because I'll have doubled my money and made like $1 million or so more, maybe. And then also when we get to if we get to the 400 range, I'll probably, be at least 50% out of my calls, if not like 75% out, and be mostly in stock. Probably 50% at 400. Just all depends on timing. If we do it crazy fast, I might be fucking really out really quick, and then be sitting in stock. And then if we start to drop, I'll start dialing into the options again. But this is kind of like, this is the golden level of what I'm expecting in the next couple of years here from Tesla. That's the plan. Anyway, guys, I love you. I'm probably going to call it, spend some time with the wife and kid. And we got cousins over, so I'm probably going to call it right here and get ready for tomorrow. I'll be doing my live streams of the market recap at 3 p.m. tomorrow. If you guys want to participate, I'll be doing it for sure Wednesday. Might start doing it Thursday or Friday too. Like I said, I might start doing some more specialty videos and getting into this more. We'll see how ambitious I get. But I am getting a little more excited about the political stuff and what that could mean for the country's future and the investments that we hold, and then just the timing of everything. When things really get crazy and we start to get near the end of this too, I will be very available. So basically, I want to make it to where I'm as available for you guys when you actually need me as I can possibly be. And if you have ideas for videos and all that stuff, throw it out there, man. Let me know. But otherwise, I'm going to call it. Yep. Have a good night. Thanks. Love it. Yep. All you guys, you take it easy. When you say calls, you mean call leaps? Yes, that's exactly. Calls always means leaps. Yes. Good night, Jesse. You rock. All right. See you, Thomas. Take it easy, man. I'm going to jam out to some music here. Let me see. What should we listen to this time? We're going to do this one, okay? Bitcoin's going to zero, guys. I don't know if you know that, but Peter Schiff tells us all that all the time. So you better be prepared. You better not buy Bitcoin. Have a good day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Oh, it's a thumbnail. I don't want a thumbnail. I want to play the song. There we go.
I've always been deeply opposed to crypto.
Last year, cryptocurrency funded every kind of dangerous criminal.
But I would not touch crypto in a million years.
Bitcoin is going to zero.
If I was the government, I'd close it down.
People are losing money in scams and huckster flim-flam artists.
These people who own these things should not own your money in any of those. I do think you're an idiot, okay?
It's over.
Go fuck yourself. I hope it is. Is that clear?